The School of Integration project came out of the observation of how countries that receive large amounts of immigration understand the idea of integration. Mostly that's a process in which they ask the foreigner, let's say the immigrant, the person who comes from abroad, to actually learn about the culture of the receiving country, the language of the receiving country, and so on, which I think has nothing wrong. But we are forgetting that integration is a two-way street. The idea of the School of Integration is precisely to add to the process that already is happening the other point of view, the point of view of everything immigrants can bring to the country. Immigrants are not only working forces, they are also humans who have previous experiences, and sometimes they have lessons we can learn from.
Africa, they don't just speak African languages. They speak French, they speak English, they speak Dutch. The divisions of Europe are the same divisions in Africa.
So the stories that appear in Shahnameh were stories that were there. He connected all this story. In a way, it's sad because you think, we haven't come a long way. This is how we were over 1,000 years ago. This is how we are now.
You have someone that has studied in the primary school only because that's the only access they had, onto people who are professors right now in the university in Manchester.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you?
I am Stéphanie and I'm teaching two classes. The first class is about La Madeleine de Proust, the theory of Proust with the memory and how he analyzed time in his book. I'll be reading some text in French and translate it in English. And at the end, I invite people to think about what would be their Madeleine of Proust, what would be the food they would like to produce and their children to remember or their friend to remember.
Yeah. And then you can...
And the second one is about Napoleon.
Okay.
This one is more a conversation with the audience, from the revolution to coronation. Which man was he? How would he be conveyed? It's about trying to see how we are taught history from one country to the next.
I was born in China, so sometimes people were, where are you from? It's quite confusing where I'm from. And even if I go to leave Manchester to visit, let's say, Scotland, people ask, where are you from? I'm from Manchester. Yeah.
School of Integration is open for all, it's free, and is welcoming anybody who wants to know about somebody else's culture and their own.
Now you can run. Basta ya, yo quiero libertad, me quiero realizar. Basta ya, yo no quiero aceptar esta pobre condición. Basta ya.
We have classes that are practical, like skill-based. So you can have classes of cooking, of sculpting. You have classes actually of how to touch somebody, which also is a skill. And at the same time, we have a group of classes that are knowledge-based. So we're going to learn how to do a screen printing using the history of Franco in Spain. And that's quite beautiful because she brought these postcards from English people who traveled to Spain during Franco. And nobody talks about the repression or the dictatorship. Everybody talks about the beach and the sun and how well the time was. We have a class that is called Do You Put Sugar in Your Tea? And it's actually the history of slavery and colonization through sugar and tea. Live drawing, like glass painting.
So today we'll be teaching you how to do henna, and also we'll be talking about history of henna and tradition in our culture.
What is our role? We choose to come here, we choose to integrate, but how much do we choose to? We also have this position where we don't have to fully integrate. How much do we keep from our culture back home? How much do we reject?
Ancient Japanese flower arranging called ikebana. Ikebana means give the flowers another life. So Ikebana was born in Kyoto 300 years ago with Zen Buddhism. One of my students found some information. I was in Kyoto. She persuaded me, you must join this. This is for you. This event is not a usual class. I just want to introduce not just classical method, yeah? Spirit. Please come to my class.
School of Integration is an attempt to bring attention to other people's culture and also to make very clear that the way in which we talk about integration is not working. One of the most important challenges we have today, not only in Manchester, UK, but in the world, is what is the role of immigrants in our societies. In the School of Integration, we actually put in motion and in practice the ideas of transversal solidarity, which is something we have advocated as one of the elements that are needed to solve the tense relationship sometimes exists with the immigrants and the locals. Making everyone feeling they have the same right, everybody is respected in the same way, nobody is better than the other. And people actually who are from one country and another are feeling they have something in common.
What is integration? What is the meaning of integration? And most importantly, what does integration mean to you?
So as you can tell, my session will be on Urdu. So I find it really interesting about how a language used to be and what it is today.
What everyone experiences when they come to a place that isn't their home. Come to points of introspection. You question yourself, you compare yourself to others. A way for me to kind of get myself back, so to speak, was always to connect to nature.
For me, it's exciting to have this project at the Manchester International Festival for several reasons. I think one of them is because the International is already here. There is a huge potential of talent in this city that I'm glad that the festival has opened its door to. As an artist, working in such a big festival gives another dimension to the work because it opens up to a huge amount of audience that we in museums don't have.
The driver said, "Have a good day, love." And I said, "Oh, he called me love." Just to realize that everybody calls each other love here, which is really lovely, no?
Hola, ciao.
Hola, ciao, oi.
Oi.
Hello, and
hello. Well, welcome from Brazil and Italy and Spain.
The School of Integration is happening in a gallery because I think we need to see museums as civic spaces. Our galleries and museums need to go back to the origins where they serve the people. Well, we have around 103 people for, I think, around 75, lessons. They are people from all over. They are from 54 countries. We have women, we have men, we have young people, old people. Manchester is one of the cities in the world that has more immigrants. So it feels totally natural that they have opened their doors for the project. Like the city is very welcoming to this kind of self-critique and analysis of what they are.
In my opinion, I think everybody can paint.
What I learned by doing the project in Manchester is there is a huge amount of resource in the city that should not go to waste in the knowledge these immigrants have. The teachers in this artwork are everything. They are the author of the work, they are the content of the work, they are the metaphors in the work, they are the documentation of the work. I feel that this is a collaborative piece in which I have initiated the idea by coming and making a proposal, but the shape and the form and the content has really been done through the immigrants and refugees that has decided to put themselves in front of a class and to tell English people about who they are, where they came from, and what their culture looks like and the history looks like.
I'm Fatima Saleh. I'm an ESOL teacher for the last 12 years in Manchester. Because I'm from Sri Lanka, I will teach a little Sinhalese like an ESOL class. And in the meantime, find out how people have come from different countries, how is their experience living here, and how well they have integrated with each other. I thought it would be an interesting experience to meet new people and share my skill as a teacher. You know, lots of people have come to Manchester and to UK. Some have come without any English, and they are just finding it difficult to get about their work, to even communicate, even they just don't know what's happening. When I came here 12 years ago, I had 4 children, and 3 of them were going to primary school, and I met a lot of friends from different nationalities. Some were people from Old Trafford and some from different countries. So I made friends, and that was a very good experience, and it made my life happy here.
I would like with this project for English people, meaning those born in England, whether Manchester or the cities around here, to come to the School of Integration and learn from other people. For me, also, there is this kind of sad feeling that I had the idea in 2005, and almost 15 years later, we still need to do the work.
If you don't challenge stereotypes, they perpetuate themselves.
It feels a little appropriate to do it now in the midst of the Brexit discussion, where many of the blame has gone into immigrants. We have to wait and see if the piece not only challenge people's conception of the world and of immigrants, but also open up and change.